So, what a wild week one we had. Man, I don't know how some of these results even happened. They just did. But we'll talk about them here. Let's go ahead and start with the Eagles and the Cowboys, right? Thursday night football, we had let me pull out the box score. We had Jalen Hurts going 19 of 23. The thing is, as well, it's like within the passing game, where was AJ Brown? Where was AJ Brown this whole game? Where was AJ Brown? He had only one target, and that was like in the fourth quarter. I remember when I was watching this game, I was like, oh, now they actually finally use AJ Brown now. Anyways, we also have Saquon Barkley not doing quite as well this game. We have. The thing is with this game, you have to realize that the Cowboys actually could have won. This was a really close game up to the end. CeeDee Lamb just dropped a few passes from Dak Prescott that probably would have won them the game. And you also got to realize that at the very start of the game, we had. He's not listed on here. He's not listed on here at all. But we had Jalen Carter spitting in and getting ejected, like near the first play. I wasn't even home at the time. But yeah, this game really is like just not. Yeah, the Cowboys easily could have won this game. I expected it to be like more of a blowout rather than how close it was. But yeah, Eagles won. Next up, we have a game that probably will have a certain play as the thumbnail of my video. We have the Chiefs and the Chargers. That one field goal is like that the Chiefs had. That was such a Chiefs moment that I don't know how that happened. I seriously don't know how that happened. Because they had 10 seconds with no timeouts. Anyways, we had Patrick Mahomes having 24-39 for 258. We had the Chiefs' run game actually did better than what I expected, especially Isaiah Pacheco having 5.0 average. I expected Amari Hampton to not have like an immediate good start in this game, but shout out to Justin Herbert, man, for actually finishing this game off with that slide. If he did not, the Chiefs probably would have won that game. And yeah, it's like you just gotta also shout out Harrison Butker for this game because that 10-second field goal was just insane. I expected this to be like a close game that I guess it was. This game actually went exactly how it would be if the Chargers actually won, in my opinion. Because what I predicted was that the Chiefs to win off of like a comeback in like game-winning drive or whatever. This time they just did not have a game-winning drive. So I can't really say too much about my reactions to this game, outside of just simply the 10-yard field goal, 10-second field goal, and the Justin Herbert slide off to finish. Like, there's not really too much that I can say with this game. Next up, we have a game of missed kicks. And missed kicks really determined this game, honestly, because I expected this to be at least somewhat of how the game would have run, but missed kicks literally just ended up being even more so how it ended up being. Here's the thing, though. I did not expect for Baker Mayfield to play like badly this game, nor for Bijan Robinson to play badly this game. I thought it was going to be a little bit more rushing with Baker and his passing doing the win. But at the same time, you also got to realize, hold on, we had Chase McLaughlin, 1 of 2 field goals and 2 or 3 extra points, and Younghoe Koo, he was perfect until the game-winning field goal. This is insane because his missed kicks really set up the game how it ended up being. And I can't really say too much with like the result because I had the Bucks winning in like a rather close one, but this was just not the game I expected it to be in terms of the kicks and how the offenses did, which I feel like the Bucks should have had a. I feel like this should have definitely been the highest scoring game, even more so than the missed kicks. But I just feel like, I guess Atlanta's defense really did it there. But yeah, I just really expected it to be a little bit more high scoring. Granted, there was some missed kicks. Next up, we have a game that, honestly, the Browns actually should have won this game. Like, they actually should have. Because, let's go down here again. Andre, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. He went 1 of 2 in both field goal and extra points. Like, how are you supposed to win when you have that? The Browns just outright played better this game. Maybe not in the first half. The Bengals outperformed in the first half, but the Browns absolutely should have won this game. Especially when the field goal that Andre missed, he missed it in the last seconds, like Younghoe Koo for the Falcons. So we had 2 games determined based off missed field goals that I've covered so far. Joe Burrow, the Bengals passing game really did not play that well this week. And I expected a slow start, which is why I had the Browns winning. But yeah, I just don't know what to say about this team right now. And I expected the rushing to be at least a little better. They won't. Both rushing games really were not that great. Joe Flacco played overall better in the other 2, except for the interceptions part. But yeah, the Browns really should have won this game. Now you get to a game where probably nobody expected how well the Colts would have done. Shout out to Daniel Jones. He was in the quarterback competition with Anthony Richardson throughout the offseason. And I know when Daniel Jones was announced to be the starter, he was essentially picked on as like, oh, Anthony Richardson should have started. Where are those people now? 22 of 29, 272 yards and 9.4 in average. 1 TD, 0 interceptions. The touchdowns could have used a little bit more work, but 115 quarterback rating. I bet you Anthony Richardson would have not had that high of a rating. However, I want to really go to the Dolphins here. What happened? Like, seriously, the Dolphins' passing game just was not clicking. And the best player was De'Von Achane, and I know from fantasy that he wasn't having the greatest game at first. Like, what happened? Like, seriously. That 26 long that De'Von Achane had was the touchdown that they ended up having. If you're going to play like this, Dolphins, how can I expect you to win a bunch of games. I had in my full season predictions video that you would go 5-12, and I thought maybe you would be higher. Maybe you actually do go 5-12 after this game. Maybe I'm right on you guys. And the Colts, I had them winning the division in my full season predictions, and they played like that right now. So I really can't say that I'm like too shocked at like who won, because I did expect it to be close. Just by the score of 33-8, that was the most shocking to me. Because I did not expect this to be a Colts blowout at all. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders and the New England Patriots. Honestly, I don't think either team played like too greatly this game. I think this was a little bit more of like a mid matchup, which, here's the thing. I expected there to be like growing pains with both teams. I chose the Patriots, but I absolutely saw the Raiders winning. I had it pretty close. Raiders against the spread. But yeah, essentially what did it for me is apparently Geno Smith played that great of a game, and we'll have to see on Black Ballas, because I'm pretty sure he got injured in this game as well. However, I wouldn't raise any alarms yet for the Patriots, since obviously they are with a new head coach. I wouldn't say too much with this game yet. The kickers both missed a field goal as well. There's just so many missed kicks this game as well. Like, that's actually insane as well. But yeah, this one I don't really have that much opinions on. Next up is the Cardinals and the Saints, and might I say that this game was a little bit closer than what I expected, but at the same time, both teams just did not play that great. Cardinals, I had you as a playoff team in going into the season. I need you to like step it up if you are going to be a playoff team, because this performance really did not look like that at all. Kyler Murray having 163 yards in off of 29 attempts is not really that great. At least the rushing game did pretty well, which I'm surprised Trey Benson did like 8.6. Compared to James Conner doing 3.3. I thought James Conner was like pretty good, and if he's going to play like that, Trey Benson may end up having more of a say within the running back room. But yeah, this is another game where it's like a little bit more of a mid-off, a little bit more of a boring game. Yeah. Now this game came down to the wire. The Jets. How did you end up blowing it to Aaron Rodgers? Like, you can see the fourth quarter, Pittsburgh had 17, the Jets had 6. It was 17-26 entering the fourth quarter, and Pittsburgh did it. They pulled their black magic on this game. Aaron Rodgers going 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, even with 4 sacks. And the running game really did not play that well this week. Meanwhile, Fields, shout out to Fields for at least keeping them in the game. But really, they were leading for like the majority of the game. In 218 yards, 1 touchdown, off of 22 attempts, compared to Rodgers' 30 attempts as well. Like, this game was a lot of offense and no defense. If this is going to be how the Jets season is, or the Steelers season is, I could see this season not going out that greatly for either of these two teams. The Steelers is probably just going to end up being 9-8 again. The Jets, they'll probably be a little better, but I don't expect them to be that great. Next up, we have the Giants against the Commanders. Commanders winning 21-6. The Giants really just did not play well this game, and especially on their offense. And actually, neither offense really did that great this game. I don't think Jaden Daniels is. I think the Commanders is probably going to have a little bit of a slump this year compared to last year. But shout out to Jacoby Kwasky-Miller on his first game. He was a 7th rounder, I believe. As well. So him pulling up this much off of one game is actually incredible for him. However, I feel like this game has a little bit more of just Giants not being that good, rather than just. I think that's the main reaction I have to say with this, because the Giants really is not that good. If I expected this game to be like close, and it ended up being 21-6. The Commanders did about what I expected, but the Giants was like that much worse. So I don't know what to say about this team. Other than that, they're terrible. They'll probably lose next week. And now we have the Jaguars winning 26-10 to the Panthers, which there was a bit of a weather delay in this one as well. This game was like in halftime when all the other noon 1 EST games was in the fourth quarter. But overall, the Panthers really did not perform at all. I expected the Jaguars to be there. I feel like the Jaguars is going to have a little bit better of a season than what I thought. And the Panthers definitely has a worse season than what I originally thought. Trevor Hubbard did like all right. 3.6 isn't like too bad, but at the same time it isn't great at all. Just also having a 4.4 average for Bryce Young is like awful. Trevor Lawrence didn't really do that great either, but shout out to Travis Etienne having 143 yards, including 171 yarder. But again, Travis Etienne really did the work for this game. So, do I think the Jaguars would win this next week? Maybe. Do I think the Panthers would lose next week? Probably, honestly. We'll see how these teams fare next week, but as of right now, it's looking promising for Jacksonville. Now we get into the 3 o'clock games with the Broncos and the Titans. What to say about the Broncos, man? They did not play good. Bo Nix. What happened with Bo Nix, man? He had 2 interceptions. There was a fumble. Actually, in the Broncos overall lost 2 fumbles. Like, the Titans won the turnover battle, but at the same time, the Titans are that bad that the Broncos still ended up winning. I honestly just feel like that this game is kind of telling for both teams on how their seasons will go. I don't think the Titans is going to have a good season at all. I didn't expect them to, but I feel like the Broncos is going to have a worse offseason than what I originally thought. They just they just did not play well at all. At least the kickers did well this game as well, because this is also a week of missed kicks, but there wasn't any in this game. Yeah, I just don't think the Broncos is going to have that great of a season. That's essentially my week 1 reaction with this game. Like, Broncos, come on, man. I thought you were going to have at least a contending season to the Chiefs, but I guess not. Next up, we have the 49ers and the Seahawks, which I feel like this game could have been a little bit more of a blowout. I did expect it to be close, but I feel like it could have been a little bit more had George Kittle been healthy all game. He was taken out pretty early, and but he still put up 4 receptions for 25 yards and a touchdown, which that is pretty good for the 49ers early on there. But they really just did not really do that great until the fourth quarter again. Brock Purdy did play well enough to win this game. In fact, it actually should have been even more because Jake Moody is just not a good player. This game actually should have been more of a should not have been as close as it was, but Jake Moody absolutely went to sell in this game. But if that happens in future games, he's just not going to. The 49ers are just going to lose games after that if Moody's going to be that bad. Maybe the 49ers just grab a new kicker and make him their starter. But yeah, that's just not good. Next up, we have a absolute beating that happened between the Packers and the Lions. Come on, Lions, man. Because I had you as the division winner. I had you second seed based off of last year's stuff. But, come on, man. Only 5.8 for Jared Goff. I feel like at this point, I feel like the change of coordinators has really affected the Lions now, and yeah, the Packers just absolutely ran over the Lions. Josh Jacobs did not have that great of a game, but Jordan Love definitely did, and I kind of expected the Packers to be more of the rushing team rather than the passing team, but Jordan Love played better today. Well, Sunday. And Micah Parsons got a sack near the end of the game as well, so I really can't say much. I really have I just feel like the Packers absolutely just blew this game out, and they'll probably win next week. Next up, we had this game against the Rams and the Texans, which this was a really boring game. Neither of these teams really did that great. Stafford had 245, 529. CJ Stroud had 19 to 27 with 188. There really was not really much that happened this game. I'm kind of surprised to see that Nick Chubb actually did better than Kyren Williams. But this game really was just a boring game. Both teams had a fumble. CJ Stroud had an interception. Just not much scoring at all. There's just really not much to say about this game. Yeah, there's just really not much to say. Now we get to this game. Man, the Ravens was winning so much, but then the Bills got so many points in the final 4 minutes. They were down 15. And Josh Allen really did this game. The thing is, by this time, I was actually really hoping James Cook did not grab any of the touchdowns since I was against him in fantasy, and if he had one more touchdown, I would have lost. But yeah, Matt Prater also saving the day with this game. He's not even the starting kicker. I don't remember when it was, but he probably was picked up this week for this game after Tyler Bass was out. But oh yeah, and Tyler Loop missing an extra point, absolutely, showed in this game as well, due to the Bills winning by literally 1 point. But a player that I did not even get to yet within this game, Derrick Henry. He had such a good first half. He had 2 touchdowns. But by the time that the first half even happened, he had the 2 touchdowns. By the time the first half even ended, he had the 2 touchdowns. He had so many rushing yards already. It was insane. But the Bills just ended up coming clean. They forced the fumble on Derrick Henry here. I really cannot really say too much else. They ended up doing great. And now we get to this game. Minnesota Vikings against the Bears. At least we had the opening drive touchdown and we got a pick 6, but we didn't play like we would have won this game, honestly. J.J. McCarthy played better than Caleb this week, and this was J.J. McCarthy's first game. The rushing side of things. I don't know why we keep using DeAndre Swift. He had 3.1 average. Just don't use DeAndre Swift anymore, man. We need a new running back, honestly. Jordan Mason did well for the Vikings. We really just did not play to win. And just another missed kick of Carlos Santos. Like, Carlos, there's just quite a bit of this Bears team that explains why I said the 6-11 for my full season predictions, even though I'm a Bears fan. I just don't think this year's the year. We need to fix the one game. We probably need a new kicker. But yeah, I just don't trust the Bears that much right now after this game, because we even just let the Vikings get 21 points in the fourth quarter. Like, our defense was doing good, and then we just blew it. We blew the game. We were having such a good first half. I just don't know what happened at all. But yeah, I just don't know. Anyways, on that note, this was the end of the video. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you're new here, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.